So now we're going to go into the duplication plan. Okay, duplication. Our business is about duplication. The key thing to remember is you have to be able to do what I do, and he has to be able to do what you do. That's how we duplicate. If we're so good at something and nobody can do it, what's the point, right? So we have a plan. A plan is a plan. Okay, so some people do it exactly, some do it better, some do a little bit less. Okay, but I need to show the plan so you know what this is. Okay, so we call this the duplication plan. One, two, three, four. For a very, very simple reason. We call this 1, 2, 3, 4 because it involves 4 steps. Okay? So, I'm going to draw this. So we understand these steps. 4 steps. Step number 1. How many people? How many people do we work with, right? That's step number 1. Number 2. What to buy. Okay. Number 3. How much money. And number 4. Potential earning. Okay, so these are 4 steps. Every single one we come in, we just need to know how many people we need to work with, what do they start with, what do they buy, how much money is that, and potential earning, how much can they potentially earn. So I'm going to give you a 3-month plan, okay? Month 1, month 2, month 3. Okay, so according to this duplication plan, right, the model, and I'm going to give you a quick plan, meaning that we have casual business builder plan, and we have the business wealth builder plan. So I'm going to give you a wealth builder plan, okay? So once you see the plan, you can plug in different numbers, all right? So this numbers, month number 1, you're going to sponsor 4 people, okay? So again, I want to be clear, it doesn't mean that you're going to do exactly like this. Some do more, some do less, but we need a plan to work, okay? Month number 1, we're going to sponsor minimum 4 people. Month number 2 on, every single month afterward, each of us is going to sponsor 1 more. So every month, just 1 more. That means that every single one who comes in their month 1, they sponsor 4, and every month after, they sponsor 1. Does that make sense? Okay. When they start, they're going to start with 1,000 points. 1,000 points of products. Okay, so everybody's needs is different. So you might need some different product than you, but 1,000 points. So they can fit into the plan, okay? Minimum. And then every month afterwards, they're going to use 100 points minimum.
For each one, right?
Yeah. For each person. On ADR. ADR means automatic delivery rewards. If you enroll, so when you buy, you click on ADR, so they add it to that cart. You would earn 20% of your points, rebate points. You can use the point to buy a product for free. Each month, you can earn maximum 100 points. So you buy 1,000 points, you still earn only 100 points. But you buy 100, you earn 20 points, right? It's a reward program that we create so that it benefits people who buy long term, okay? And of course, they don't have to enroll in this program. Now, so 1,000 points in the US market is worth about 1,050, approximately, with no shipping and tax yet, right? And 100 points is about 105. So when we're talking about this one, you have to explain to them clearly of who the person you're talking to. If they're just customers, they can buy whatever they want. They can buy 20, 50, 100. Doesn't matter. If we're a business builder, we ask them, is this the plan you want to go? 1,000, 1,050. If we do business, 1,050 is not going to get us anywhere, right? But in this business, you can. Now, for that, month number 1, you have the potential to earn $200. Month number 2, you have the potential to earn about $3,000 approximately, I don't remember the exact number, and we'll get to the exact number soon, about $3,500. And month number 3, you have the potential to earn about $7,800 in month number 3. So if you do this, month number 1 you sponsor 4, and every single month afterward we sponsor 1 more, and everybody duplicates that. Everybody come in with 1,000 points, and every month after they use 100 points. So of course, personally, they're not required to, okay? But so we go with the plan so it's easier to understand. If they all do that, then month number 1, you would earn $200. Number 2, approximately $3,500, and number 3, $7,800. Now, if you look at this, if you do this plan in 3 months, you spend about $1,260, right? In 3 months, what do you earn? You earn about $11,000. Okay? Now, money does not fall from the sky, right? And you only get paid by the volume that people consume. We do not get paid by recruiting people. Okay? So I'm going to explain to you where these numbers come from, so it makes sense. All right? All right. Here we go. So I'm going to go in 3 months. Okay? So month number 1. Month 1, we said we come in, we sponsor 4, right? So this is me, and I sponsor 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And me start with 1,000 points, and everybody does the same. Do you remember that the first position that we need to achieve? Do you remember what it's called? Distributor. And what's the next level? Executive, right? Now, let me explain to you how to become executive, the requirement to become executive. The requirement to become executive is month number 1, you need to have 1,000 points minimum. That's why we start with 1,000 points, right? Month number 2, you need 1,500 points minimum. And number 3, you need 2,000 points. Now, don't worry. You don't buy this every month, okay? So I explain to you where the numbers come from. So you do that, you have 4,500 points, accumulated points, 3 consecutive months, you have 4,500 points, then you become executive. That make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, but you have to have minimum 1,000 points the first, 1,500 points the second, and 2,000 points the third month. Okay? So for 4,500, if you can do this within the first 3 months, you become executive. That means you can do it in 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. Okay? Maximum 3 months. Now, you notice that the first month, you are required to have 1,000. So if you start with 1,000, then you don't need anyone else. Okay? But in this plan, we start with 1,000, but we also sponsor 4 more. So together, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000. So immediately, in month number 1, you have 5,000. And you qualify to become executive. So remember I said earlier, if you are just a distributor, you earn 5% of the people you personally introduce, right? If you're an executive, you earn 9 to 20% of the whole group. That's why it benefits you to become executive, right? So over here, you have 5,000 points. So you earn 5% of the people you sponsor, so that's 1,000, 2, 3, 4,000, right? And you earn 5%. And that is 200, right? So that explains this number. You follow me, right? All right, very good. Now, of course, we move on. So let me grab this real quick. So we move on. So I'm going to leave this here so I can draw it. Now, we move on to month number 2. Okay? So month number 2, we say, how many points are we going to use now? 100, right? So now, all these guys are going to use 100 points. 100 points. And of course, now I am an executive, right? 100 points, 100 points. Now you also notice that month number 1, these guys each have 1,000 points already. So they also qualify the first month. So they're already here. So now they will go to month 2, right? So according to this plan, number 1, everybody, the first time everybody sponsored 4, every month after just 1, right? So following that plan, me, I'm going to sponsor how many people?
6.
1.
1, right? 1. So we follow the square of the new one, the round of the old one, right? So now you sponsor one more because now it's your month 2, right? You sponsor one. This person is going to use 1,000 points. So I don't write 1,000, but you know that that's 1,000 points. All the new one, right? Now these guys, what do they do?
4.
4, correct. They're going to sponsor 4. Second level, right? Yes, so they will become executive. You're very good. But to calculate our commission this month, because now we earn 9 to 20%, so now we're going to see how much we earn for this month. So we have level 1, level 2. Level 1 we have 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 1,000 there, right? So we have 1,400 points for level 1. Level 2 we have 4, 8, 12, 16. And each of them have how many points? 1,000 points, right? Each. So now we have 16,000 points. So together, level 1 and level 2, we have 17,400, right? So now we have 17,400 points. So based on this, how much commission do we earn? Okay. So here's where it gets a little bit tricky. That's why you have to watch the video a couple of times. Okay? We are paid on different, there's a ladder to our pay. So I'm going to write this over here. If your group, if you have 2,000 to 2,999, you earn 9% of that group. If your number is 3,000 to 4,999, you earn 10%. And 5,000 to 9,999, you earn 11%. And 10,000 to 14,999, you earn 12%. 15,000 to 24,999, you earn 13%. And 25 to 49,999, you earn 14%. And 50,000 and above, you earn 15%. Now,
That point, right?
yeah, so these are the points, the group sales volume. Now, if you get above here, if you have more than 3,000 points a month, the company pay you 5% extra. Called executive bonus. Okay? So over here we have 17,400. So we fall right in here. So we make 13%. But it's above 3,000, you earn 5 more. So now you have how many percent?
15.
So 13 plus 5?
Oh, 13%. Okay.
18, right? 18%. So if you have a calculator, you can help me here. So 17,400 times 18%. Anybody have a calculator? Right? So we have
1750.
17400 times 18%.
18%.
Yep. Times 0.818. So
7,400 times
times 0.18.
418.
0.18, 18%.
Yep, equal.
No.
I do it.
3,132.
All right, 3,132, right? So 3,132. So that's how much commission you earn in the second month, based on this one. Okay? So I'm going to erase this. I'm going to redraw month 3. Okay? Here we go. So everybody follow here? Okay. So month 3 gets a little bit tricky. Always get tricky as numbers go up.
So pretty much like 1,000 points is maybe using executive, right?
Yeah.
Or in distributor, right?
Uh-huh. Well, when we come in, so this is just a plan. They come in, they buy 1,000 points.
Yeah.
The goal is to become executive. So I'll show you the other plan. Well, maybe you can understand that. So let's say if you don't have, let's say,
You can be, yeah. Okay, I got you.
right? So let's say that's you, and you don't start with 1,000 points. You start with 250, for example. then how many people do you need to have 1,000 points?
700.
Right? So you need maybe 3 more people who each do the same, then you have 1,000 points.
700.
So the key thing is to have 1,000 points. Doesn't matter how you're gonna get it.
I got you.
Make sense? Yeah.
Pretty much when you hit those numbers, so you're like convert like executive.
Correct.
And
You
you
hit 4,500, you become executive.
I got you.
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter how you hit 4,500. You can just buy 4,500 points, which I don't recommend, but you still become executive because you have 4,500 points. Or you can have you with 100 points, and you have 44 people with 100 points each. You still have 4,500
I
points,
got you.
right? So now we're on month number 3. Now month number 3 is a little bit complicated. Okay, so I'm gonna redraw earlier. Okay. So we had 1, 2. You know how many people we had at month number 2? Personally?
We have 5.
5, correct. So 5, right? So I'm going to draw this. 5, okay. And how many people? So I'm going to put 1 here, okay? That means it's just 1.
We need to
This
have
guy has
6.
4, right? This guy has 4. This guy has 4. This guy has 4. So that's month number 2. Now we move on to month number 3.
4 plus 1.
All right, here we go. So month number 3, we say 1 more, right? So we add 1 more for us. And how many people this guy's gonna add?
1 more.
How many?
He has to have, yeah, 4. No.
4.
4, right? Because this guy has not had 4 yet. So now he's gonna
Oh,
need 4,
yeah.
right? So now this guy already have 4 here. So this month, how many people?
1.
1, right? So he's gonna add 1 more, right?
Duplication.
There you go. So everybody does exactly the same. So now because they had 4 last month, so this month they just add 1 more, right? Now, how about these guys? How many people total?
16.
16, right? Okay, 4. Each of them is gonna get 4. So 4 times 4 is
16.
16.
Now, you noticed that month number 2, these 4 guys, they have 4,000 points each under, plus 1,000 points the first month, so they also qualify to become executive, right?
Yeah.
So now this guy's an executive, this guy's an executive, this guy's an executive, this guy's an executive. What that makes you?
That's gonna be,
The next level.
Ruby.
Ruby, right? So now you're Ruby. Now, as an executive, each month within our circle group, we need to maintain minimum 2,000 points. So I'm going to explain right now. So now, our comp plan is called breakaway plan. Meaning that once somebody became executive, they break away. They don't disappear. They just break away, meaning they become independent. So just say, when you are, let's say you have your cell phone store. This is the best way I can illustrate this point. So let's say in your cell phone store, before you work for someone and that someone say, hey look, if you have 4,500 points of sales from you and from anyone that you work with, then I'll let you open your own store. Easy? Right. So now that you, in month number 1, that you have your own store. And you have 4 employees. And you tell them, hey look, you can sell or you can get another sales associate from you and your sales associate. If you can have 4,500 points for that month, I will let you open your own store. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
For every single store that we have to have minimum 2,000 points in that store a month. So let's say our sales quota, right? 2,000 point minimum. And of course you want to have more than 2,000 points because if just 2,000 to that is 9%. 3,000 and above, you have bonuses, right? So let's say you have, so you had your cell phone store and you had your 4 guys who each had 4,500 points. So now they go on and open their own cell phone store. That's why we call it they break away, right? But for your effort, you still get a commission based on what they sell in their own store. Now, so these are their store, right? These guys have their own store. Okay, so to use that language.
Because they're executive, right?
Right, because executive, correct? So I just want to use store so it makes sense. It just means they're now executive. So now, they also require to have the volume like that. So also these guys, these guys in here, if they have their 4,500 points, they become executive as well. So they basically have their own store, and you earn a commission on them as well. Okay. So now all these guys are already broken away. So now you have this guy's left, these guys left. So these are called your circle group, meaning the people are still in your store, still your employees. These guys already opened their own stores. Okay. So within your store, you need to have 2,000 point minimum. So over here you have 1,000 point. Over here you have 4,000 point plus 100, so that's 5,100 points. So you're okay, right? So for month number 3, this is how our company pays. We have a pay structure that maximizes your commission. So over here, you don't have a lot of people down here yet, so we do a calculation. The company will pay you 10% of these groups, or 5% going down, whichever way is more, they'll pay you. Okay? So don't worry if it just when it goes by. Okay? We're gonna watch this video again. We understand. Now, so I'm gonna calculate the commission. So over here, in your circle group, you have 5,100. That means that you are right here. That means that you earn 11%.
Plus the 5%.
That means that's 16%, right? So that's 1 over here. Now over here, you also earn commission. Okay. So this guy used the blue one, 100, right? And the red, 1,000. So we have
1,100.
1,700, right? So basically 500 here plus 16 plus 1, that's 17,000, right? So that means that we have 17,500. Okay? Now, so this group have the same, this group the same. You have 4 of this group, right? Now, I was saying earlier, because we don't have depth yet, so the company will pay you for 10% of this group, 10% of this group, 10% of this group, 10% of this group. So 10% of this group is $1,750. And you have 4 of those, so now you times 4. I don't know what that is. If you have a calculator, you can tell me.
1,700.
This one is how much?
1,700.
No. 1,750 times 4.
It could be like 5,000 something like
6,000 something, right? 6,000, 7,000.
700.
So 3,000,
7,000.
7,000, right?
7,000.
7,000, correct. Thank you. And over here, 5,100 times 16%.
7,800.
So this is 800.
Oh, no.
No.
So this 5,100 times 16%.
816.
816? All right. So now you have 816 in your circle group plus 7,000 from your executive breakaway. So you have $7,816, right? That's how much commission you earn in month 3. And therefore you add it up in 3 months. That's how much you pay out. And based on how you build your business, that's the potential earning you're going to have. Okay? So is it going to look evenly like that? I don't know. Right? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes, instead of getting 3, you get 5. Instead of 4, you get 2. It depends. Okay? But you see the structure. You see where the money comes from. Okay? Now, one last thing I want to tell you. So this guy is an executive. These guys are not yet. So this is called your G1, generation 1. G1 includes all this. Okay, it's not just this guy alone, but all this guy in here. If these guys become executive too, these are called your G2 and G3, G4. Okay, all right. So here's how you maximize your commission, understanding that. So I'm gonna draw this real quick.
So pretty much you can hold it use like for generations, right? Use just for generations.
You can maximize. So I'm gonna explain it right now. So this is you. If you have 4 executive, okay? If you have 4 executive, you are now Ruby. As a Ruby, you can override G1, G2, and G3. 3 levels of executive.
Yeah.
So let's say just for the sake of simplicity, these guys copy you. So now each of them is going to have 4 executive. Okay. So now you have 16, right? Executive. Let's say these 16 do the same, so each of them is going to have 4 executives, so you're going to have 64 executives, right? Now, let's say if you maintain 3,000 points, then you earn 10% plus 5, right? So you have 15% of this, so you earn $450 in your store, right? In your executive circle group. Now, if each of these guys also have 3,000, right? So 4 times 3,000 is 12,000. Okay? These guys each have 3,000. So you can do the math for me here. They say Asians are smart, but I'm not one of those Asians. So over here you have,
3,000.
over here,
16 plus 3,000.
16 times 3.
Oh, time 3?
Yeah. So that's 4,
48.
48. And how about 64 times 3?
182.
192? Alright, 192. Thank you. So you add this up for me, 12 plus 48 plus this is 16, so 252,000 volume in points. So earlier, I said that because you don't have debt, meaning that you don't have G2, G3, so the company pay you 10% of your G1 or 5% of your G1, 5% of your G2, 5% of your G3. Okay? So let's say if you don't have this at all, then you probably earn 10% of this, is more. But since you have debt, you have people here in generation 2 or 3, they pay you 5% of here,
That's right.
5% here, 5% here. So now you have a total of 252,000 times 5%. What is that number? 12,200 and something, right?
4%. Yeah. 116.
1, 2,
126.
6.
1, 2.
So $12,260 as a Ruby executive. Make sense? So that's how you get paid. So a Ruby executive override 3 levels of executive. As an Emerald, you override 4 levels. Emerald executive, if you have 6, 7, or 8 executive directly, then you're an Emerald, you override 4 levels. If you're a Diamond executive, you override 5 levels. And if you are a Blue Diamond executive, you override 6 levels. And every single level, you're going to earn 5%.
So as you hire you get, so they give you an extra
Yeah.
generation, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm not going to bother you with Team Elite because they pay you a lot more. They pay you 10% of your 13 lakh and above. Okay? But imagine this one. So theoretically, right? If these guys do the same, and you can do the math, right? You make a lot more money if you learn how to build a team. You can see that you earn a lot more money here than here. You have 4 of these guys, you earn 5% here, you earn about, what, 600. But if you learn how to build, you earn a lot more here. That's why it would benefit you to understand that we need to build to make a lot of money. We don't just recruit to make a lot of money, we build. So we learn and we teach them how to do it. And this is why it's critical to become good leaders, because only leaders understand how to start doing this, right? To drive this step. So a lot of people, they have no problem with this. They can come in, they can sign up 4 people, no problem. But they just don't know how to do all this. That's why we need a system, that's why you need people like me, right? So we can learn it. But after a while you learn this, you do this, and you can teach other people to do the same. That makes sense? Right? So do you have any question about this?
No.
Okay, so it's clear, right? So of course now the point is, you understand how I'll write this already. The point is to become an executive, to develop others so you become a Ruby, and then you keep on doing that, helping do that. And at the same time, you sponsor more people, right? So you move from executive to Ruby to beyond. And you apply that strategy, you're gonna make a lot of money. Also, what I haven't told you is, once you qualify as a Ruby, and you have 4 executive for 4 months, then you also qualify for a trip for 2. So the next one we have, the qualification ends September. So it ends every March and every September. And 6 months later, we go on a trip. So the next trip we go to is Maui. So you have 4 executives by the end of September. Then in March, we get to go to Maui for free. 2 people, plane, airplane, everything for free. And then by the end of March, if you move up to Emerald, right, so from now until September, you have 4 executives. From September to March, if you have 2 more, you move up to an Emerald executive, you get to go on another trip for free. And then from March to the next September, you have 2 more executives. Basically, you move up 1 pin title, they send you on a trip for free for 2. So we went to Punta Cana, we went to Bermuda, we went to Alaska, to the Big Island, Hawaii. So we've been to a lot of places. So next month they go to Alaska cruise, Maui in March, and I have no idea where they'll be taking us, for the next trips. But we're qualified to go all the time. So a trip is worth about $10,000 on average. Okay, the company will pay for. So to keep you in perspective, so you understand the business and keep your focus. Okay, is to become executive. And then to become Ruby, Emerald, Diamond, Blue Diamond, and Team Elite. So it's simple as that. So this is what you do. And of course, like I said, the next question is how do you do it? How do you do it? Okay? That's why we need to learn. Skills takes time.
I know.
Right? Skill takes time. But you have the patience. I mean, you can do it. If you're already a businessman, so we know that business takes time, business takes skill, business takes the right mindset. Most people don't have the business mindset. Most people are used to working for other people, trading time for money. Business people understand that we're not just trading time for money. We're trading this for money, right? We're trading our skills, our knowledge for money.
Smart.
Right? So you can choose to work 2 ways. Way number 1 is you work from here down. Labor. The more I work, the more I get paid. But you don't get paid so much because your strength is limited, your time is limited, right? You need to sleep, right? The way to make a lot of money is to work from here up, right? So why do we work? Why do we do this business? Because when you have your business, you have to set up your shop, you have to buy inventory, all that stuff, right? With the company here, they have 75 scientists. They do all the research and development, they make all the product. What's left is for us to do the one thing left is to market it.
Everything's built.
That's right, just to build a business. So let's build a business and let's help grow your market. So let's conquer the world together, okay?
Right, thank you.